के Z तक।
Okay, so today, before we start the session, I want to talk 2 minutes, not in 2 minutes, 1 minute about what I've planned, so that we are all on the same page. So, what I mean by resurfacing, is, Sankalp, you're on two, okay?
Yes.
So basically, what I mean by resurfacing is exactly 5 years back to March 2020 when I started astrology study. Last 5 years, I've done a lot of study in different paddhatis and quite deep study. So, but then I realized that just having one paddhati is not the answer to analysis. So, out of those 30, 40 different techniques or whatever paddhatis or whatever I've learned, I've picked up 10 of them roughly. And I'm resurfacing them, I'm readdressing them one by one and picking up because I've done the basic study, I know usme se kya lene. So making a it's called arsenal. Arsenal में अपना जो weaponry का रहता है सर, different weapon from different paddhatis, which will finally streamline into one system of analysis. Okay, so timing of events के लिए one analysis part is good. For symptomatic catchings, this thing is good. For Prashna, one technique is good. So that way. So what we are going to do and what we are not going to do in these classes, let me clear it off. Like for example, if you see Lal Kitab, I have actually written this book, this entire book I have written, which I showed you the PDF that day. This is the book, which I am not going to publish or anything. This is the book, which actually took me 2 years to write. Like if you see, each and every word has been typed in a specific format, which I'll be sharing with you today how to do that also. So now after doing this entire Lal Kitab thing, I have realized that there is a certain portion of it which is important and which we need to revive and we need to use. So I'll be teaching you all that what is required, the basics which are pertaining to that, so on and so forth. So I will not be teaching all unnecessary things. It's not unnecessary, but things which I don't think which are required for the Lal Kitab, from the Lal Kitab. Okay. So it's not going to be like after Lal Kitab, we might be doing Bhrigu Nadi. So I'm not going to teach you Bhrigu Nadi, the entire छोटा मोटा thing. उसमें से जो काम का है that I'm going to extract and put. Beyond that, research and development is your call. Beyond that, because if I start teaching everything, it will just be a teaching learning session. We have to be practical oriented. Okay. So from my experience, whatever I feel is useful or powerful from, let's say, Lal Kitab, I'm taking it out. I'm restarting it. That's why I sent you the photograph yesterday. Every day till almost 12 o'clock, I'm resurfacing on it. Seeing my old videos from the earlier classes, reading my notes, and then making them more and more streamlined. Because that time, what I did Lal Kitab around 2021 and what maturity I have now, there is a difference in that. Maturity in the astrology. Okay. So let's start with basic Lal Kitab. I have given the introduction to Lal Kitab last time itself. Now let's directly jump to the practical parts. Now, Lal Kitab, frankly speaking, is divided into two parts. One is called as a grammar, which is called Vyakran, which is the basic ABCD of it. And second one, they call it as an advance. Okay. Now, they normally teach the grammar first, which teaches you the aspect system is totally different. The Kundali layout is totally different. Okay, so Kundali layout is the most important, which I told you last time, which if you want, I'll revise it again today. So that is totally different. So there are lots of things which are totally different in the basic what they teach in the grammar. Now I'm not going to get into that unless those parts are required. Okay, I'll teach you all that. Second part is the advanced part. Is basically first thing is which is the most important from Lal Kitab point of view is the symptomatic this thing. Symptomatic thing in the sense that suppose Mercury is in the third house, this fellow's shoulders will be hurting or some, something like that. So that is very important for us to understand which planet is giving him trouble. So it can be used in a reverse engineering manner. If his shoulder is paining, it should suddenly strike that Mercury might be in the third house. Or if he's vomiting continuously, maybe the moon is in the fifth house and is getting hit by some other planet, something like that, that way. So basically, that those symptomatic things is what I'm taking up first. So actually, I'm taking the advanced thing first because we can actually start implementing it right away. If I teach you the aspects of Lal Kitab, which is pehle ghar se baad mein ka ghar ka, and all the reverse aspects and all that, it will be very confusing. So just now, if you make a Lal Kitab Kundli, which is just a 2-second ka job, and these Karak Tattva, which I'll be telling you all progressively from today, you all start implementing it, then see how the things work for you. Okay. Now, in this, what change I've done over here is, which I realized was I was switching between, because they do it on the North Indian chart. Okay. I've also done my entire study in North Indian chart only, but then I realized the importance of South Indian and I moved there. Now, the difference that we are going to do over here is we are going to be using the South Indian chart for Lal Kitab, because finally my aim is to make a, let's call it a software if you want, not for commercial use, where in one box, which is the South Indian chart, you'll be able to see the D1, you'll be able to see the D9, you'll be able to see Jamakol, you'll be able to see Brigunandi Nadi, you'll be able to see the divisional chart, you'll be able to see the Lal Kitab issues, you'll be able to see the, what's it called, Sarvadobhadra Chakra, you'll be able to see the Kota Chakra, you'll be able to see the Navtara system, all those 10 things you'll be able to see in one square. That is my final goal. So I call it a cockpit. Okay, so you don't have to keep jumping here or there. So, as far as this is concerned, what is it called? Lal Kitab chart is concerned. I hope you have understood what it is. Let us say your seventh house is the ascendant. Kanya Rashi, Tula Rashi, Libra. You have to actually move as if you're moving that dial. You move it all the way so that that seventh Rashi, that Dabba, comes to the Aries. So your first house will always be Aries. My first house will always be Aries. Everyone's first house will always be Aries. It's as simple as that. So,
Radha, are you sharing anything? Any screen?
I'm not sharing anything. As of now, I'm not sharing. Today, I might not be sharing much. I will be dictating more. So basically, first important thing is to understand, because here that mistake happens. It took me some time even to decode that. First house, अभी एक proper चाहे तो लिख लो उधर, so you don't make a mistake. Your first house is always Aries. I'm not even saying first Rashi. I'm saying Aries. Okay. So let's take a rough example. Swati, tell me your Kundali one by one. Just first few houses. Where is your ascendant now? Which Rashi is your ascendant?
Virgo.
Virgo. So sixth Rashi. So Virgo, Virgo, many planets are there?
No.
Okay. Tula, many planets are there?
तुला में मेरा गुरु है, नहीं शनि है. सेकेंड हाउस में मेरे शनि है.
So now Shani for her goes into Rishabh. Okay, the second house. अभी तुम्हारे इसमें स्कॉर्पियो में कुछ है?
थर्ड हाउस में मेरे राहु है.
एक मिनट, if you are not
नहीं, केतु है. केतु है. केतु है.
You know your thing by heart. हाँ, चल, Mahesh, you know by heart. हाँ, tell me what is your ascendant?
Yes, sir. Tula, Libra.
Libra. Okay. So basically, Tula Libra is your H1 that now becomes Aries. Anything in Tula?
No, sir.
Anything in
1, 2,
Scorpio?
1, 2, 3 are 1, 2, 3 are vacant.
1, 2, 3 weeks. So in Kumbha, what is that?
In Makara, it is Ketu.
1, 2, 3. Achha, Tula you said. Okay, sorry. I thought you were saying Scorpio. Okay, so 10th Rashi you have got?
Ketu.
Ketu. So that is your fourth house.
Yeah.
So in Cancer, you will have which planet you had there? Which
Ketu.
planet? Ketu. Okay. 1 minute. Do you want me to share something? 1 minute. I'll draw it on. Just give me 1 minute.
Yeah.
I'm sharing this. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Just drawing very rough now, not to waste time. Now what we'll do is first we will talk about his as it is. So this is your ascendant, right? Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Tolu.
Makara you got
Ketu.
in Libra, anything else? Now just dictate as you go on.
Yeah. So in ninth Venus, Midana Venus.
Ninth, your Venus. Okay.
Venus.
Uh,
10th is Sun.
this is your regular thing, huh? Not
As, yeah, as is chart, sir. Yeah, D1, my
Venus.
D1.
Then
In 10th it is, yeah, 10th it is Rahu, Sun and Mercury.
okay. Then
11th is Jupiter and Moon.
uh,
12th is Mars and Saturn.
okay, these planets are done, right? Now how this changes, now I'm making my new lettering in red. So that is the Lal Kitab thing. So this red, what I'm writing is how the Lal Kitab chart will be. So this is his ascendant. Okay, ascendant. Second, third, fourth is Ketu. So this is fourth. So his Ketu comes here. Correct. Fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth may Venus hai. So in the ninth Rashi, Venus will come. 10th is got Rahu, Sun, Mercury. So here Rahu, Sun, Mercury come here. 11th, this is ascendant. 11th is Jupiter, Moon. So Jupiter, Moon come here. And 12th he's got Mars and Saturn. So Mars and Saturn come here. Understood? This is how the Lal Kitab Kundli is done. All of you understood? Swati, have you understood? Huh? So basically what you have to do is you have to very simply move this over here. Move your ascendant to Aries, wherever your ascendant. Like for example, my ascendant is here. I will move my ascendant here. In this chart, ascendant was here. I have moved it here. And then the second house guys will come here. The third house, you can see the video later again and see. The third house guys will come here. They'll go in those Rashis. The house will go into the Rashis. Are we clear on this? Okay. So first thing is to make the Kundali correct. If you don't make this correct, all your analysis is going to go wrong. Okay, so that is one. Second thing, what we are going to do just now is the friendship enmity wala thing, which you will require. I'm just going to teach you two things today. And third is that Jupiter in first house to 12th house ka symptom. So first thing I'm going to share with you is the friendship enmity thing as per Lal Kitab, which is a little different. Second thing, I will teach you something very important, which is called Masnui Graha, which I spoke about last time. So Masnui Graha I'll teach you. And third thing is we will start off with one planet, that is Jupiter, in first house, second house, third house, fourth house, and the repercussions, how it goes. What I was thinking of is every time we cannot keep having one planet, it will take 9 turns for you to understand. So basically today is just a starter. So I'll tell you how to make your notations, whatever you want. I'll also teach you the syntax. Just remind me about that also. I'm writing it on there. Because that's very important, otherwise you will not be able to read what I've written. So the syntax abbreviations I will tell you. Swati, गुस्सा में है क्या? कैसे बैठे हो? ऐसा माहौल तो देखो like this. हाँ. Okay, don't be गुस्सा.
मेरे क्वेश्चन है एक्चुअली जब आप असेंडेंट को एरीज लेके जाएंगे
हाँ.
तो मान लीजिए कि मेरी कुंडली अलग है, आपकी अलग है, हर का जैसे डीएनए फिंगरप्रिंट होता है, सबकी कुंडली अलग होती है, पर ऐसे में तो सबके मूव जो रहेंगे एरीज जो है वो सबका कॉमन हो गया असेंडेंट.
This is common, okay, but your planets are different. No? Actually, the Kal Purush Kundli, which is the Tattva, basic Kal Purush Kundli, Kal Purush Tattva बोलते हैं उसको. That is actually the
Hmm.
base on which astrology is used. ये ascendant descendant ये बाद में आ गया. And another thing you have to understand one thing, ascendant changes every 2 hours.
हाँ
Some mistake is there in your birth time and the ascendant changes. If you're on the Sandhi, बोलते हैं, on the Kona, like 28, 29, 30, 28 degrees or 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees, the ascendant changes, everything changes. That's why Lal Kitab, what I'm going to tell you today is going to tell you whether your ascendant is correct, whether your Mars is correct, your Jupiter is correct, सब मालूम पड़ेगा. You will understand it little while. Just bear with me. So today we are going to do 3 things. One is the friendship enmity thing. Second is the Masnavi Graha. And third, I'm going to take you through the symptoms of Jupiter 1 to 12. Next term, I hope I'm ready with that. I would want to do the other 8 planets in one shot. Okay. So let us start with the syntax. Sorry, syntax. Syntax, I'll tell you. So abhi kaise karna, I'll tell you. This friendship enmity thing, I've given you the colored thing only. So either you keep a thing on your screen or whatever you want, or write it down whatever you want, or you color it whatever you want. I do it in Photoshop, so I don't expect all of you to do it, but you can do it whatever way you want. Excel also you can do. So similar thing, you do it your way, whatever you want. That is one thing. Masnavi also you can do the same thing. Color coding, all of you I think know my color coding, so you'll be able to follow that. When it comes to syntax means the shorthand which I write. That as we go along, I will tell you, keep one page called abbreviations. And when I tell you, uske udhar abbreviation likhte jao, otherwise you will not be able to read what I have written. Because I write everything in coded form. This entire book is in coded form. Even if I give you this book, I don't think you will be able to read beyond a couple of pages. And when we come to Jupiter 112, you will have to keep one page, ki Jupiter ka page, Mars ka page, Sun ka page, like that, that way. So now I'm sharing the screen here now. Okay, can all of you see this? So I'm zooming in over here. I don't want to waste time on this too much. If you understand 2 or 3 things, you'll understand. Upar ka is the positive, म्हणजे friends. Niche ka is the negative, and right hand side is the sum, म्हणजे neutral. So basically, how to read it is, you can see my mouse, right? You can see the mouse. Huh? So Sun is friend towards Jupiter. Mars is friend toward Jupiter. Mercury is inimical, enemy, Shatru, towards Jupiter. Venus is inimical towards Jupiter. Ketu is neutral toward Jupiter. Saturn is neutral toward Jupiter. Okay. Now, yes, I don't want to. Basically, Sun we'll see. So Jupiter is friendly towards Sun. Mars is friendly towards Sun. Moon is friendly towards Sun. Venus, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu are inimical towards Sun. This what we call Mercury is neutral. But as there is some condition which comes, so I'm not getting into that. So similarly, you will get all of these. So you can decide what it is. Okay. I have made a abbreviation thing also, so I'll tell you what that means also. These are the abbreviations, चाहे तो जल्दी लिख लो. GF is Grahafal. These are all, so make one page for abbreviations and terminology, because that's different. GF, Grahafal. I have forgotten to write here, but there should be a RF also after this. RF, Rashifal, PK, Pakka Ghar. You will get it in the video also later, so I don't think if you want, you can write it later also. EW, where I have given the directions for those. This will come later, but EW chota mein east wall. Inka makan kundli is little different. NK is Nek Asar. CONDI means conditions apply. N means niche, U means uch, म्हणजे exalted and debilitate. Okay. So this way you will get all the friendship enmity as per Lal Kitab. This is very important, and this can make or break an analysis. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Got it? Okay. Second one which we have to do is the Masnui. Now, how to read this? Because I'll be giving you, see, this chart I have just started off. I'll explain to you what I've written here in one of the things. But till I populate it, giving it to you doesn't make sense. So, isme I'll just go through this first. I'll tell you what this is. This, if you can see the extent of this is the first Rashi over here, correct? Top right, we have written 1, that is first Rashi. In this case, it becomes first house. In this RL, my Rashi Lord is Mars. Okay. Ucha is Sun. Neech is Saturn. Pakka Ghar, this is another concept of this thing. Significator of the house is Sun. Okay. Kismat ka graha, there is something called Kismat ka graha in Lal Kitab. So that is Mars. Graha Fal is Mars, Rashi Fal is Rahu. Okay, Graha Fal, Rashi Fal, I'll tell you. Graha Fal is basically, if a planet is a Graha Fal, it is destined, you cannot change it. Rashi Fal, you can do remedies and change it. And here in this square over here, the directions of the Makan Kundali, the house, this thing, Vastu, let us say, as per Lal Kitab is here. So east, so somewhere you will see WW. So WW means west wall. Because they have north wall, east wall, this thing, they have got those things. Okay. Now, how I'm populating this, this Niche ka line is common for all. This is what you see, sun, moon, everything. If you see E over here, that tells you, okay, sun is exalted here, Saturn is debilitated over here. Okay. If you see the same color over here, but slightly light, it means that it is giving good result over there. So sun is giving, Jupiter is giving good result, moon is giving good result, so on and so forth. If you see gray over there, that tells you that this planet is not giving a good result in this house. So this is the first line which comes here. The second line which I have just started populating is something like this. So in the fourth house, which is northeast, and all these things are here again populated here, Jupiter gives a good result over here. When Jupiter is in fourth house, Venus wherever it is, and Mars wherever it is, and Moon wherever it is, give positive results. Okay. Now, from some other calculation, if let us say Moon is giving a negative repercussion, then basically it balances off and the good becomes less. You understand? Because what will happen is here it is showing, because of this pointer, it is showing that let us say Moon is very good. But somewhere else it is saying not so good. So then what happens is this very good becomes little less good, like that, something like that. Okay. So this is how I'm populating this thing over here. If you see here in the sixth house, Jupiter doesn't give very good results. In this case, Ketu becomes good, Mercury, Saturn become bad. So this logic, I have just around 20% I've been able to crack. I have not been able to crack it, but as of now, I'm just taking it blindly because it is given in the book by this one, the Urdu. Now, main thing is this second part. Now, write down Masnui Graha. Masnui, M-A-S-N-U-I. You can write it on the terminology page. Masnui means Banavati. In there, this thing they call it Banavati Graha. There are lots of terminology changes. Okay, so you have to learn that also. Masnui into bracket Banavati Graha. In very simple words, two planets joined together to make a third planet. And you will understand in a minute what I mean. So how to read this is, if you see at the bottom, you will have Jupiter, Sun, Moon, so on and so on, all the way up to Ketu, or to Rahu. Why Rahu, you will understand. Because when you got Jupiter, there are only 8 others which are Indian. When you got Sun, Jupiter is already taken over there. So you will have only 7 here planets. You understand? Because if you say Jupiter, Sun has come here. Now, how to read this, you have to understand. If Jupiter is seated with Sun, wherever, it makes a Masnui moon. So, if let us say your Jupiter is seated in the 5th house, so that is one Jupiter. And let us say your Sun and Jupiter are no, Jupiter seated in one house, it will not happen like that. Basically, look at this for example. Let us say your natal Jupiter is in the 5th house. And if you see a Sun plus Venus makes Jupiter. So let us say Sun and Venus is seated in your 10th house. So you have got one Masnui Jupiter seated in the 10th house also, which will give you results. So when I tell you the Jupiter ka thing, you will have to see Jupiter seated in the 5th house is giving you what sort of results. And Sun and Venus together in the 10th house. So Jupiter in the 10th house, what results it is giving. That is how you need to analyze it. Okay. So this is the thing. Plus म्हणजे नेक म्हणजे पॉझिटिव्ह, मायनस म्हणजे मंदा म्हणजे निगेटिव्ह. मंदा बोलते MANDA मंदा. Okay. So I'll give you these now. I think these nomenclatures I will type out only and give it to you. That will be easy. So even the terminology will understand. So far have you all understood? So far what we have understood is, forget the rest of the things. Friendship enmity is something that, frankly speaking, at some point of time we need to have it in the memory. But as of now, I'm not taxing my brain also. So I'm keeping a chart in front and I'm doing it. Normally I would have cracked it and put it in my head in 2 days, but I'm not doing that. That is there. Second thing is the Masnui. These two things, I'm telling you in advance, what should be by heart. Third thing, what should be by hearted is once I populate the entire chart, we should know that, okay, these planets and these houses give good results or not good results. So I'm sure I'll be able to crack the thing as to why the logic behind that, because none of these teachers have given the logic. They keep saying that logic, 10 minutes, this thing is going off. So Swati, we can go back on the same one you're saying, same link. So we'll come back on the same link in 10 minutes. So logic, both none of them give even 20% logic. So we'll do that. Now the most important thing is we have to note down and finally memorize a planet in a specific house ka symptoms kya hai. Now what I've done is I have categorized the symptoms in a very specific manner. So I just show you that I'm not giving you the chart because it's very complicated and it will just mean confusion. So let me share. If you can see this, what I'm sharing over here, I'm just showing Jupiter 1. Can you see this, what I'm sharing? So Jupiter 1, I have made a left side and a right side. So left side is green, right side is red. Forget this yellow part just now. So green is basically if these are the symptoms, then Jupiter is giving you. Jupiter is giving you good results. It is working for you. If it is giving symptoms of the right hand side red, then Jupiter is not working for you. So here I've again further categorized it into positive symptoms, positive medical symptoms, positive family related symptoms, positive work or career related symptoms, what was I saying? Positive work related symptoms. Similarly, here you have general symptoms, medical, family, work, general. These are all the symptoms which are there. Actually, symptoms and general can be used in the same thing if you want. So now when I tell you Jupiter, I come on Jupiter, just 1 minute. So basically what you do is you have to make a table in that form, whatever you want. So I'll be telling you the positive and the negative of each of them. Got it, all of you? So now we'll start. Sorry?
Sir, it's Masluni or Masruni?
Masnui, MASNUI.
Okay.
So video recording, you'll actually get to see this also. But if you ask me, you write down because I don't need you to know all of it at this point of time. So now basically Jupiter, just write Jupiter on top and उसके नीचे write मंदी हालत, मंदी MANDI मंदी हालत, म्हणजे when it is giving you negative result. What are the symptoms? One is bald at choti. I'm dictating how I've written it only. Maybe at some point I might share this book only, this thing only with you all. But just now write it. Can you see what I've written in bald at choti? Means choti is this part, you know, where that choti means that shendi.
Radha, you're not sharing anything.
I'm not sharing anything, I'm dictating because I want you all to write this first time. So bald at choti mein this part, that person starts getting bald, that can be one symptom. Okay. Then mala in the neck. If he wears a mala in the neck, that can give a mandala. Because why? Mala is basically Mercury. And mala is held in the neck in the third house. Jupiter doesn't give good result in the third house, and Mercury is enemy of this thing. So that's why that chart is required. Okay. Then gold loss or theft. Because Jupiter, as per Lal Kitab, is gold. So gold getting lost or getting stolen is also a mandi halat of Jupiter. False rumors are spread about that person. False rumors. And सबसे one more thing is education stops because Jupiter is education. Okay, so education stop. These are the mandi halat ke symptoms. Remedies I'm going to take separately, because I'm not giving you the remedy. Now it is also said over here that Jupiter alone does not give manda effect. Right? M in bracket for manda. I write that way. So M into brackets means manda. Manda means malefic. Okay. Now take a new page and under that write Jupiter 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. If you want positive, negative, likho aisa line karke or however you want, like what I've done. Now Jupiter first house, positive symptoms. Whatever, education equal to work, right? In my fashion only. So you'll also start understanding how I think. Education, edu equal to WK work. What that is trying to tell you is the education which this guy has gone through will finally culminate into his work. And so many times what happens is the people study medical and end up becoming some pottery person or something like that. So the education goes there because Jupiter, education, first house, head. So that way. Okay. So education is thing. Second positive, this thing is his Kismat becomes positive after marriage. Kismat into bracket positive. Then that forward arrow or whatever you call it, arrow. When that is after, you know that bigger than, smaller than, wala thing. So bigger than wala. After marriage, if H7X, house 7 is empty. If you want to follow my sentence, do it, otherwise make your thing. I write a full sentence in 2 words. So Kismat into bracket positive, arrow, larger than arrow, greater than, marriage, if 7X means 7th house empty. Okay. The work normally these people will get into is teaching or consultancy related profession. Teaching or consultancy. If there is a planet, so 7H planet, if at all there is a 7th house planet, equal to also good education and samajhdar. I'll explain all this. Understood? H7 planet, if at all there is a planet over there, equal to well educated oblique समझदार म्हणजे whichever कारक of that planet is there, suppose it will be moon, so the mother will be well educated and समझदार. If sun is there, father will be there, Jupiter grandfather will be there, like that. So whichever planet in the 7th house, that planet का relative कारक is also समझदार. Now take the negative part, negative repercussions if Jupiter is not giving good results in the first house. In the family wala thing, basically the father's health might be not so good. Father's health. So negative में father's health में you will understand. All right, I normally a dad, so father इतना लिखने का mom and dad is a shorthand लिखो दो. I never use that word. So dad health into bracket M ऐसे लिखो into bracket M म्हणजे मंदा. Mother at 51 मंदा. म्हणजे mother's health at her 51 can be a little manda. Then 8-year difference between two children or no second child. 8Y BTW CB. That's how you write it. 8-year between childbirth or no second child. So this you can cross check over there because first child is 5th house, which is Pakka Ghar of this fellow, Jupiter, and also friend of Sun.